Hello everyone, I'm Kajal and today we are going to discuss the next chapter of the 9th class students. So today we are going to discuss your 12th chapter, the skeleton, the movement and the locomotion. So we are going to discuss this chapter in this video. Now, before starting this chapter, I would like to tell you about the skeleton system. What do you mean by skeleton system? Our body is made up of the bones. There are 206 mean 206 bones are present in our body, human body, and with that bones are whole body is made up of, so that is known as our skeleton system. Skeleton system is responsible to give the shape to our body as well as for the movement, for the growth and for the whole works of our body. That is responsible. It is giving the strength to our body. It acts as a strength for us. Like you had seen that to the weak plants that we are sowing in our homes, or as well as to the veins also, we are giving some kind of sports okay to them, so that they will be easily grow properly. Like that way, in our body the bones are present. Bones are responsible to give us strength as well as the shape to our body, so that is the skeleton system. So we will discuss about this skeleton system in this video. Let us begin. Functions of the human skeleton system. Firstly, what are the functions? First is support and shape. First function of the skeleton system is support and shape. Skeleton system is responsible to give our body a proper shape as well as the proper support to our body. The bones, what is the shape of the bones? Accordingly that our body is also acquiring its shape, so it is responsible to give us the shape as well as for the support of our body too. Next one is the protection. Protection, because you know that in our body inside our body the organs are present that are very soft organs as well as they need some kind of protection. So this skeleton system gives the protection to them. You know that here if we talk about our chest cavity, in our chest cavity also the bones are present, and that bones are giving protection to our lungs. Afterward in the abdomen cavity also some kind of organs are present, okay, and these bones are giving the protection to them. So skeleton system is responsible for the protection of the bones, organs, internal organs. Next thing, movement. We are able to move properly because we are having the strong skeleton system in it, that is properly giving the strength to it for the movement. Next one is the leverage. Leverage means some bones and the joints are forms the levers, and that are increasing the flexibility of the speed, distance for the movement of the muscles, so that are known as the levers, as well as it is acting as a leverage for our body. Next is formation of the blood cells. In our bones the bone marrow is present, red bone marrow. Red bone marrow is responsible for the formation of the RBCs, so these are responsible for the formation of the blood cells. Next function of the skeleton system is it is responsible for the storing calcium and phosphorus, means it acts as a storehouse that storing the calcium and the phosphorus in it. So these are the functions of the skeleton system. Support and shape, it is giving support to our body. Protection, it is protecting our internal or delicate organs. Movement, for the movement of our body. Leverage means it acts as a levers, and flexibility, as well as it is responsible for the movement of our muscles properly. Formation of the blood cells, because in that the RBCs are forming, so in that the formation of the blood cells takes place. Next, constituents of the skeleton system. In the skeleton system there are the three constituents: bones, cartilage and the ligaments. Bones, hardened part, okay, that are giving protection to our internal organs as well as for the movement it is responsible, and it is giving the support and shape to our body. Next is cartilage. Cartilage is the supporting and connecting structures. Cartilage are the supporting and connecting structures. For example, cartilage supporting the projecting external ears and the tip of the nose. Here you can feel that here on the tip of your nose no bone is present. Then who is giving the support to it? The cartilage is present. That's why the tip of the nose is very flexible, as well as this pinna part of the ear, means outer ear, is very flexible due to the presence of the cartilage. Next one, ligaments. Ligaments are responsible to bind the bones together, that are present between the bones and are responsible to bind the bones to each other. Next one, bone. Bone is a chief component of our skeleton system. It consists of the organic and inorganic materials. Now, in a single bone, two type of materials are present: organic and inorganic. If we talk about the inorganic materials, inorganic part or constituents, inorganic is present in the 2/3 part of a bone, and it includes mainly the calcium and phosphorus components. So, inorganic, organic, calcium and phosphorus is present in our bones. Phosphorus is present in our bones. If a bone is placed in a weak hydrochloric acid, then the mineral part is removed, means that mineral part is dissolved in it, and the remaining organic framework is left behind. Such a bone is called decalcified, because the hydrochloric acid is weak now. So in that case, what is happening? The inorganic part is totally dissolved, organic part remained, so that bone is known as the decalcified bones. Next one, on the other hand, if a bone is strongly heated in organic matter, then if we are giving the heat to the bones, then what is happening? Organic matter is totally destroying from that bone, and such only the mineral part, means the ash, will remain. Such a bone turns brittle and quickly breaks down with the age. As in the old age, the organic part of a bone is reduced and the bones become more fragile and taking much time to rejoining after a fracture. So that is the cause that why there is the more time, why it has taken the more time to rejoin the bones of the elder persons. Why so? Or old age persons. Why so? Because their organic matter is totally brittle in that age. Why so? Because due to the age, their calcium is reducing, as well as means inorganic is reducing from the bones, and due to that the bones become brittle, and due to that, if the fracture takes place in them, there is the more difficulty for them for the rejoining of the bones. Next is we are going to discuss about the classification of the bones on the basis of shape. There are the 4 type of bones on the basis of shape. First is long bone, short bones, flat bones and irregular bones. So there are 4 type of bones: long bone, short bones, next one flat bones and irregular bones. Irregular bones. Structure of a typical long bone means thigh. For example, in the thigh, the long bone of our body is present. Thigh bone, it is highly calcified, hard and rigid connective tissue. It is very strong and can be withstand severe stresses also. It consists of the bone cells. Which bone cells are present now? Osteocytes. Now in the bones, the cells are present and the bone cells are known as the osteocytes. The arranged in the form of concentric rings embedded into the ground matrix, in which the collagen fiber and mineral salts are deposited. Means that is totally embedded in the materials that are made up of the calcium and phosphorus, as well as the collagen fibers. So the long bone is known as the thigh bone, and that bone is very hard and it is made up of the bone cells, and the bone cells are the osteocytes. Next one, external surface of the bone is covered by a membrane that is known as a periosteum. Now outer covering of a bone is known as periosteum, which consists of the outer fibrous and inner cellular layers richly supplied with the blood cells. Now the periosteum is consisting of the fibrous cover outer side, and inner side it is connected with the blood cells, blood vessels. And a long bone has the hollow cavity in the middle, is filled with the bone marrows. There are the 2 type of bone marrows in a bone. First is the yellow marrow and the second one is the red marrow. Yellow marrow is made up of the adipose tissue and as well as the blood vessels. Adipose tissues are responsible for storing of the fat, and the blood vessels are present for the exchange of the material. Next, red bone marrows are present at the tip or end of the bones, and it produces the red blood cells. As I told you earlier also, red bone marrows are present in the bones and that are responsible for the production of the red blood cells, and it is also useful for the curing of the cancer too. For the treatment of the cancer also bone marrows are useful. By that way they are forming the blood cells in the human body, patient of cancer. So by that way they are treating the cancer patients. Next one we are going to discuss about the human skeleton. The human skeleton altogether consists of the 206 bones, means 206 bones are present in a human skeleton system, including 3 very tiny bones. 3 smallest bones are present in the ear of a human body. 3 in each, means total 6 bones are present in a ear of a human body. So that are very small bones of our body. And the total has the 2 main divisions. The total bones of our human skeleton system have the 2 divisions. First is known as the axial skeleton system, and the second one is appendicular skeleton system. So we are going to discuss about the 2 type of the skeleton system. First is axial and the second one is appendicular. Now axial and appendicular. Axial skeleton system consists of the skull, vertebral column, as well as the ribs and the sternum part, means the upper part of our body that consists of the axial skeleton system. I will show you. Skull part, okay, our sternum part and the ribs that consist of in the axial skeleton system, and the vertebral column is also included in the axial skeleton system. Next we are going to continue with the skull. Skull is the skeleton of the head. So head is known as the skull part of the skeleton system. It contains the 2 parts. Upper part is known as a cranium, and it is made of the 8 bones. 8 bones are totally attached and that are not movable, and that are attached with each other and are immovable bones, and that are present in the skull part of the human body. Okay, and the other part of the skull forms the face, which contains the 14 bones. In our face part, if we talk about the face part of our body, it consists of the 14 bones. Total 14 bones are present in our face part. The upper and lower jaw also form the sum of these bones. The back part of the cranium contains a large hole that is known as the foramen magnum, and through which the spinal cord, after emerging, the brain constitute the behind the spinal backbone. And the back part of this is known as foramen magnum, and from this the spinal cord is totally attached, and by that way the spinal cord's bones are starting. So this is all about the skull bones, and we have discussed about the type of the skeleton system. So hope you understood. Thank you very much.